All set for our weekend adventure in Brooklyn.
On our way to Brooklyn, we went to lunch at Kat's Deli, and we saw this cool park on our walk there. And Kat's Deli is a really famous deli in Manhattan that we had never been to before, and we're kind of trying to explore some delis before my parents come and visit over my spring break, because I know that my dad really wants to go to one. So we tried this one out. It was really delicious. And then we took the subway to Brooklyn to do some exploring for the day. And we just loved seeing all the street art and all of the views. The bridge is really beautiful, and we just loved going to the Brooklyn Bridge Park, which is in between the parks. And then there's also this area where there are water taxis that come by, and it was really cool to see this wall with the keys on it, and it was just really, really beautiful. So we just explored there for a bit and took in all of the views and all of the beautiful scenery, and then kind of made our way in between the Brooklyn Bridge and the Manhattan Bridge. And we saw Jane's Carousel, which is a really old carousel, and it's been in New York since 2011, but I believe it came to be in the early 1900s. And we just took a walk by the water, and it was just a really gorgeous day for seeing all these views. I loved the cobblestone streets in Brooklyn, and it was just a really quiet, nice area. We're in DUMBO specifically, and we went to One Girl Cookies to get some hot beverages because it was on the cold side, and I really liked this place. It was artistic, and they had really delicious coffee and hot chocolate, which is what I got with the giant marshmallow. It was so good, and we just enjoyed some quiet, and it was definitely a lot calmer than Manhattan coffee shops. And then we decided to actually walk on the Brooklyn Bridge and walk over to Manhattan, and this was amazing. It only took us about 25 minutes to do the whole walk across, and it was just sort of filled with tourists and people that were just venturing across the bridge. And I loved how you can see all the suspension on the bridge as you're walking along. It's really, really neat and very unique, and it was just a pretty straightforward walk to do. And we got some beautiful views of the East River as well while we were doing this. And it was actually really cool because we saw a bunch more of these locks that we had seen when we were by the Brooklyn Bridge Park, and we saw a bunch along the bridge as well. So on Sunday, a few of the highlights. First of all, we went to tea at Alice's Teacup, which is something we do pretty regularly. It's one of our favorites. And we love getting tea and scones and just taking a little break. It's a very whimsical little tea shop. There are 3 locations in Manhattan, so I highly recommend checking them out. And then we took a walk in Central Park. The weather was really warm, and it really felt like a spring day. And Central Park is just always beautiful. I love just wandering through it, and we just like to kind of get lost and kind of take in some nature because we don't get a ton of that in the city. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos.